Okay, we're gonna try this again. So we're gonna do a bootstrap, bringing in OpenAI's ChatGPT model into a Node backend. So basically building a website that supports AI with it, with Node. And what I learned pretty quickly as I got into this, kind of got excited because there was a developer conference that OpenAI put out there, and you basically don't get much in free credits. So if you just signed up for your ChatGPT account, within the first 3 months, you get $5 in free credit. However, I signed up a year ago, so I didn't have that available to me. So I went ahead and signed up for ChatGPT Plus, and in ChatGPT Plus, it's $20 a month, at least to get off the ground and try this. I should get some access to some credits to use their API. So now I have some credits on my account. So to kind of open up an account if you haven't already, or go ahead and sign in. Next, navigate to the API key page, and you're going to generate a new key. Now I'll do this off camera because this is a secret, and of course I don't want this on the internet, but I will go ahead and click this button to generate my secret key off camera. And you have to give it a name, so I'll call it my first key and create my secret key. And the key is now generated, and it gives you the option to copy it. Now I'm going to go ahead and select Node because that's what we've been using all semester, and we already know how to set up Node. And then we have to set this up. There's a couple of ways that you can do this under Windows. I'm on Windows. Save an environment variable to the current session, or I kind of like permanent setup. So in my permanent setup, you go into your computer, click environment variables. In the system variables, click new, type in this key as a variable name, and then paste your API key in the value. So let's go ahead and do that. On Windows, type in the word my computer, my PC. Now, maybe I need to be in, I don't need to click that. I need to click here. Type in, Windows 11 is this PC. Okay, let me just search for environment variables. How about that? There's too much going on here. Environment variables. Okay, here's in the control panel. If I start typing environment variables, that kind of gets us right into this step. Click the environment variables button. Here's our system variables right here. And it says under system variables, click new. And it's probably best to copy and paste, but I'm not at that. OpenAI API key. And because it's, again, the value is a secret, I'm going to take that off camera, paste that in, and click OK. And then I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to click OK. And it says to verify this setup, reopen the command prompt. So I'm going to open up a new command prompt, CMD. And you're going to type in echo parentheses open API key. And I'm going to right click and paste that. And you should get your key spit back to you at the command prompt, which I did, starting with that and ending with that. So now I set that up on my Windows desktop. That's an environment variable. So now I have a permanent setup, and I have, in fact, verified it. So my API key is set up, making an API request. Now, of course, we need we can set up a empty folder, call this whatever, AI. Open with code. Yes, I trust the authors. This is Visual Studio Code, of course. We're going to open up a terminal. And back to the docs. It says create a file named OpenAI test.js. Of course, this is just a JavaScript file. And let's paste in our file name. So now we've got our JavaScript file. And copy the source code. Now, here, to kind of just take a step back, you want to pay attention to the URL. This is where we got started. But under making an API request, if you want an image, you want a chat, you want embeddings. So let's go to chat. And you can kind of parse through this. We're importing something. So that's one thing, is this is the ES modules using the import syntax. We need to install the dependency. How did I miss that part? After you have Node configured, and the final step is to send a request. Okay, so I would think I would need maybe a Node server set up or an Express server, but maybe I don't. So What'd I miss?
The npm install for it?
Yeah, I thought so. Where's the npm install for Open?
Go up a little bit.
I jumped.
Otherwise, install it in Node.js.
Okay, thank you. Install the OpenAI. There we go. Okay. So as we know, to get Node up and running, once you have Node installed, the OpenAI library can be installed. So here's the npm command to go ahead and run at the terminal. Npm install save OpenAI. Cool, so it created a package JSON for me. And Node modules. So once we ran this install command, now in our test, so I knew I missed that step. Now let's copy the source code, paste it, import OpenAI, call the function OpenAI. Here's our main function. We write a function called main, and we call main. Inside of main, we call this create function, passing it some arguments, a messages array, and a model GPT-3.5 Turbo. And we're giving it the content. We're basically sending in this string is kind of how I parse this. Is we're giving this a complement. You are a helpful assistant. And if I now run this command with node open, I'm going to start typing the word open. I'm going to hit tab and run that JavaScript file. Okay, that's kind of what I would think. We can't use an import statement, so in package JSON, what we don't have is the init. Like we skipped a step. Let's do npm init/y. And that will kind of do a few more things in our package JSON, of which I'm going to add a type, in quotes, type of module. And that'll allow us to do this line 8 that I just added in, would allow us to do the imports that it was erroring out on. And now if I run our command, you exceed your current quota, please check the plan and billing details. So I may need to log back in because I should have set up my premium. I just set that up. One second. I'm just going to hit the continue button here. I'm now on ChatGPT Plus, which I believe ChatGPT Plus includes some credits. Maybe because I didn't click the continue button. I'm just going to try it one more time. Nope. Insufficient quota. So let's try something else. So today I learned that by buying ChatGPT Premium, it did not include access to the API for the developers. And so I went under settings and I went under billing and I bought $5. It is separate. I thought I read that it was together. That's okay. Shall we go back? Now that I've got $5, will this work? Still not happy. Sometimes we need to log out and log back in. Yeah, so it worked. We're all good. What did I have to do? Well, since I bought credits, I had to close my old terminal, kill the terminal, open up a new terminal, and I sent "You are a helpful assistant," and it responded with "How can I assist you today?" And again, you can kind of dig through this, right? We're sending a message. This string right here is what you can verify and what you can change. So how can we use this with what we know? Taking what we've learned this semester, we've got this script. We've got a function called main. Maybe we export main. So maybe we do export default async function main. Or export, there's a couple of syntaxes around here. Couple of syntaxes around this, again, getting that exactly right. Let's go ahead and wire up an Express server, make a route, a route that uses this main function. So let's boot up a new file, call it server.js. We'll make a script called run dev, which will be nomon OpenAI test.js. We normally have some switches with our nodemon command. I believe it's a -R to bring in a .env, but let's just keep it at that. No, nodemon, we're not running that. We're running server.js. Let's bring in some other dependencies, right? So run terminal npm iExpress. All right, import Express from Express. Boot up an Express app. Home route. Hello world. And listen on port 3000. And what I typically do is example app listening on. Change these to backticks. And we can run our start dev, typically call it start dev, npm run start dev. Okay, app listening on 3000. If we hit that, it says hello world. See if I refresh my usage. At least it's working, but it's not really costing me anything yet. I've only got one response. We now have an express server with a home route. Import main. Const data equals call to main. Have a little home route that just gets some data, calls main. Now main does a console log, right? So I need to refactor that to actually send this object back. Quite simply, instead of console log, we can return completion choices sub-0. So main sends back that object, and when I get close, now probably we need to be able to receive JSON. I gotta think about that. We probably need to await main because what we've got in here is an async function. So let's mark our function as async. And let's await main. Now we get a little spin here. Aha. How can I assist you today? Now, maybe we need to pass it a string, right? I don't necessarily like this idea that main has the same thing. Maybe we give main a prompt, right? So what is the string that we're going to send in? So here at the home page, it says, how can I assist you today? Let's make a function. I don't know, call it input. User input. Function custom. We'll call this function custom input. And then the content becomes this user input string. And on this return belongs I defined a function inside a function. Let me back that up. User input. I need to put this in the right place. This function right here outside of main. Return completion choices sub-0. So let's export main and custom input. Maybe we go so then on the receiving side we need to import main and custom input. Import main and custom input from OpenAI. Alright, so let's see that we didn't break main yet. Okay, main still says how may I assist you today. That's still working. If I close it all down, okay, we still get that custom input. So now let's write another route in our express server. App.get : custom call it the user question. So let's send in a user question via the params. String user question rec.params. Of course, string is not JavaScript. And let's pass that user question to custom input. User question. And let's hit that. And now I'm going to say what's great. Good luck parsing this string from your favorite color. As an AI, I don't have personal preferences or senses, so I don't have a favorite color. Hey. Couple bumps in the road, but we now know how to wire up an Express server, sending a custom prompt to the OpenAI. Now, pretty cool. Let's go back to that developer tool page. And I lost the URL. Quick start tutorial. So there you go. That's the easy way. Go to the home page of the docs, quick start tutorial. As you click node, you can scroll down. Let's see what kind of image we can get out of here. So here's a function, OpenAI.images generate. So there's our important code with the custom string. So let's write another function, async function get custom image of the user input, and the user input becomes the prompt. And it looks to me, if I go back to the docs, image.data. So it looks to me like image.data is what we're looking for. So let's export get custom image. Let's bring in get custom image. And what we're like literally days away is showing how to actually have a front end with React in this. But nonetheless, we can, sure, we'll make a route with a user, not user question, call it user prompt. Var user image equals await. Oh no, we got to read the user prompt. Var user prompt is rec.params user prompt. Const image data equals await get custom image, passing in the user prompt, and let's just send that back. Res.json image data, and finally, let me make sure I close that parenthesis, semicolon. Okay, so this is the URL is now /image /user prompt. Let that spin. Okay, /image what do you guys want to generate an image of? What did I say? A class A classroom in the clouds. Let that spin. And probably it's going to give me see, we have to learn how to use this URL, right? However, if I open that URL in a new tab, we have a classroom in the clouds.
Not quite, so
Hey, that's what Dall-E gives us. How about
space robot.
a classroom of robot students in the clouds? Let it spin. It's kind of like clip artish. I mean, Dall-E's not nearly the best. I've seen much better. All right.
It's something, it's
So now we need to learn how to build the front end React to hit these back end routes, to get the images, to get the text, and you guys, pay $5. You don't have to spend $100. You could spend $5, should you choose, or use the $5 credit and bring in some ChatGPT into your back end, into your web applications. So super cool.